Welcome back students. I am your geography teacher Vandana Joshi and you are watching SST June. Students, today we are going to revise some important topics from the unit climate. So please watch the video carefully and revise the same topics. So students, first we will revise the important topics from composition and structure of atmosphere. As you can see in this picture, the atmosphere is a composition of many gases. These gases are nitrogen, oxygen, argon, carbon dioxide, neon, helium, krypton, xenon, and the hydrogen. Out of these gases, nitrogen and oxygen are the two major gases. The remaining 1% of composed of a number of gases, as you can see in this picture, and rather than the gases, there are water vapors and the dust particles are as well available in the atmosphere. The amount of water vapor varies from place to place and time to time. It represents 2% of the air by volume. It is mostly found in the lower layer. And if we talk about the dust particle, these are also found in the atmosphere in different size. The major source of dust particle is desert, lakes, and the dry river. These are responsible for the formation of clouds, fogs, and the smog. The structure of our atmosphere is basically divided into 5 parts, that is troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, ionosphere, and the exosphere. If we talk about the troposphere, it is the lowermost layer of the atmosphere. Its average height is 13 km and it is started above the 8 km near the poles and 18 km at the equator. The upper layer of troposphere is called tropopause. It is a thin layer and its height changes according to the latitudes, and it separates the stratosphere and the troposphere. The next layer is the troposphere. It extends up to the height of 50 km. The temperature remains constant up to the height of 20 km in this layer. Afterwards, it increases up to the height of 50 km because of the presence of ozone. And there is also a upper layer which is known as the stratopause. It is between the stratosphere and the mesosphere. The next layer is mesosphere. Meso means middle. So this layer is situated in the middle as it is a third number layer. The mesosphere lies above the stratosphere, which extends up to a height of 80 km. In this layer, once again temperature starts decreasing and reaches up to 100 degrees centigrade at the height of 80 km. Then after that, another one layer is the thermosphere. The thermosphere is also known as the ionosphere because of the presence of the ions in this layer. It is located between 80 and 400 km. It is an electrically charged layer. Radio waves transmitted from the earth are reflected back to the earth by this layer. The last layer is known as the exosphere. Exo means the outer layer or the uppermost layer of the atmosphere, which extending beyond the ionosphere. This layer is extremely and gradually merged with the other space. In fact, we know very little about the atmosphere and we know only about 64 km above the sea level of the atmosphere. Now let's see some important topics from atmospheric circulation and the weather system. So first point is isobar. What is isobar? Isobar is a combination of two words. Iso means equal, bar means pressure. So isobar is line of equal pressure. Isobar is an imaginary line joining the place of equal pressure reduced to sea level. Point number 2 is the pressure gradient force. The difference in the atmospheric pressure produces a force. The pressure gradient is strong where the isobars are close to each other and is weak where the isobars are apart. Next is the Coriolis force. What is the Coriolis force? The rotation of the earth about its axis affects the direction of the wind. This force is called the Coriolis force, as you can see in this picture. Due to the Coriolis effect or force, the winds are deflected to right in the northern hemisphere and to the left in the southern hemisphere. Another point is air mass. What is air mass? An air mass is a large body of air whose physical properties, especially temperature and moisture control, are relatively uniform. Naturally, an air mass extends over 100 of kilometer and consists of several layers, each having homogeneous condition. Next topic is the geotropic winds. What are the geotropic winds? When isobars are straight and when there is no friction, the gradient force is balanced by the Coriolis force and the resultant winds blow parallel to the isobar. These winds are known as the geotropic winds. So what is Chinook? Chinook is a kind of wind which literal meaning is snow eater. Another point is how many pressure belts are there of the earth. So there are total 7 pressure belts of the earth. These are the equatorial low pressure belt, subtropical high pressure belt which is situated in the northern hemisphere, subtropical low pressure belt which is situated in the southern hemisphere, subtropical low pressure belt which is situated in the northern hemisphere, subpolar low pressure belt which is situated southern hemisphere. Another is the polar high which is situated in the northern hemisphere. Another again the polar high which is situated in the southern hemisphere. Now let's see what are the temperate and the tropical cyclones. First, the temperate cyclones. These cyclones are concentrated in the middle latitudes between 35 degree and 65 degree in the both hemisphere. They are generally extensive, having a vertical thickness ranging from 9 to 11 km and diameter of about 1000 km. If we talk about the tropical cyclones, these cyclones are notorious for their velocity and for carrying widespread destruction. They developed over oceans, particularly in the tropical region. And most of the tropical cyclones developed in a belt of 8 degree to 15 degree north and the south latitudes. Now let's see some important topics from the world climate and the climate change. First point is climatic region. What is a climatic region? A climatic region is defined as an area on the Earth's surface where an approximately homogeneous set of climate condition is produced by combined effects of climatic control. In the another point of the world climate and the climate change, here I provided you the climatic type according to Köppen. A full letter code is there, and now we are going to discuss about these letter codes. First of all, Group A. Group A is known as the tropical humid climate. It exists between Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, and it's divided into 3 types: AF, AM and the AW. The proper description of these 3 words is in the list. The Group B is known as the dry climate. Dry climates are found in the 15 degree to 60 degree latitude in both the hemisphere. The another one is known as the C type of climate, which is known as the warm temperate climates. These are also situated in the 30 degree to 50 degree latitudes, mainly on the eastern and the western margins of the continent. The D type of climate are known as the cold snow forest climate. These are situated in the northern hemisphere between 40 degree to 70 degree north latitudes in Europe, Asia and North America. If we talk about the polar climate, the indication of polar climate is A. These climates exist poleward of 70 degree latitudes. These climates consist of two types, that is ET and EF. ET means tundra, EF means ice caps. That another one is the highland climate, which is after the 70-degree latitudes. Students, these were some important topics from the unit climate. I have provided some more links related to unit climate where you can see the detailed video of these discussed topic.